When looking up what capitalism is on Google, the first thing that pops up is its definition from Investopedia. Capitalism is an economic system in which private individuals or businesses own capital goods. The production of goods and services is based on supply and demand in the general market, known as market economy, rather than through the central planning known as a planned economy or command economy. So what does this exactly mean? So it means that capitalism allows for open competition in the market, and the motive of profit for those in the market, and it allows for the private ownership of property. So capitalism allows us to rise from little if we start a company and get bigger and bigger and get more money off of it for our own personal use. So the advantages of capitalism is what causes these problems. For example, with private ownership of property. As I stated before, one advantage of capitalism is that it allows for private ownership of property, which means that a company can start off and get bigger and bigger and bigger, sometimes crushing its competition and other times falling out and becoming completely bankrupt. The people get to choose which companies they want to support, and typically the companies people support are those who cater more to the people and those who have the cheapest prices. So when there are so many companies selling the same product, the competition gets harder and harder. And that causes many companies to lower their prices. So when competition gets harder, companies have one of two options. They can get creative and reason to the public why their product is better at a more expensive price, or what most companies do, they hire cheaper labor and material for their products to keep the prices low. And like I said, that's what many companies have been doing for years. Another motive in capitalism is money. When you have money as a motive, it can cause for unethical behavior and practices. The rich want to get richer no matter what it takes, and it makes the poor work harder in hopes to get rich. This artwork that I created early in the semester showcases how we don't initially see these practices from companies we support. So big companies like Nike, Adidas, Victoria's Secret, H&M, Forever 21, all are companies that most of us have bought from. Personally, I have bought from this company, but we don't see what's going on behind the scenes. Then I have the other image that I did, and it's the same companies, but behind all that stuff that we buy, such as we see the shirts and the shoes and these technology things, we see all kinds of things, but behind we don't see the labor that goes into it. Yes, we can find it cheap, we can find a cheap shirt from H&M, but is it really worth all that sacrifice that people make for us? In addition to capitalism creating slaves out of the vulnerable, the capitalist system is causing us to become slaves of the system as well. We know that if we work hard, we will be rewarded. So we slave away every day in our 9-to-5 jobs, sometimes putting even more hours to make ends meet. We wonder why the rich are getting richer while we're putting in our most effort and working hard just to be able to buy a new car, a new house, or even getting the quick luxury of going out to the movies. We take as little sick days as possible and don't take any extra vacation days to be able to save up a little bit of money to become happier. We believe that materialistic things are going to make us happier, but in reality it's not. Us individuals have been contributed to the system of capitalism since the day we were born, and there's not much we can do about it. We can help with the unethical treatment of workers by no longer supporting the companies that continue those practices. However, we also need to reevaluate our own lives, and if we're one of those people who have been workaholics for happiness through materialistic things, we need to find happiness elsewhere and enjoy all of life's precious moments. So yes, capitalism is a system that most countries throughout the world are using, and it is a system that works. But what are we willing to risk for something that just works?